Hello and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the Algebra 1 concept of difference of squares. This is standard A.10F in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 40 of the 2021 released STAAR test. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. So we need to find which expression is equivalent to this, and we see, looks like we're factoring this, right? Because we've got two binomials here, and then we've got squared, which kind of, expresses two different binomials that need to multiply by each other. They're just the same ones. So when we're factoring, most of us probably think, okay, we need to use this form here, ax plus bx plus c. We can use the diamond method and it works. Now there is a faster way. I'll show you that at the end of the video. But if all you're thinking is I need to make it look like this and get my a and my b and my c, you can get the right answer. So instead of x's, we've got n's, but that's fine. So I've got my 9n squared. Then I'll get a minus 25. So that's just my constant. So that comes over here. So what about my b? Well, if we want, we can put a 0 there, right? Because anything times 0 is 0. So really, there's just a 0 for that b. There's no just x. The coefficient 0 just got rid of it. So then we can say, all right, so my a is 9, my b is 0, and then my c, it's negative 25. All right, we can use the diamond method. Diamond method works even in situations like this. So we're going to say, well, in our top, we're going to do a times c. So that's going to be 9 times negative 25. And that's going to be negative 225. All right, down below you put your b, and that's one that didn't exist, right? We could put 0 in place of the missing coefficient. Now we're going to say ax over factor. Ax over factor. These go on the side. So what that means is we're going to take our a term 9, right? And we're going to put 9x over something, 9x over something. These somethings are these factors. We're looking for two numbers that multiply to negative 225, but then add to 0. Now, rather than listing out all the factors of 225, take a look at this right here. If I'm going to add two numbers and they're going to add up to 0, well, guess what? They need to be the exact same number, one positive, one negative. Which means I need to find the exact same number that multiplies to itself, which means I need to find the square root of 225. Because if I can do that, well, there we go. That is simply 15. So watch this. If I do 15 times negative 15, that's going to give me my negative 225. And then if I do 15 plus negative 15, that's going to give me my 0. And that's what I need for these two things right here. So let's put 15 and negative 15. And we put them in this fractional form because we might need to simplify. So we can simplify by taking 3 out, right? So that's going to end up, now we write it as a binomial, 3x, and then my denominator is positive, so plus 5. We do the same thing over here. So 3x, my denominator is negative, so negative 5. Okay, so if we wanted to rewrite it with the n's, because that's what we've been using, or we should have been using here, 3n, we see that right here as our g. Now, there is a faster way to do this. If we notice that, we can use the difference of squares, right? That's what difference of squares, it's on your mathematics chart. It says if you see an a squared, and that shouldn't be a plus, that's a minus b squared. That's a plus b, a minus b. So if we recognize that that is a perfect square, so 9n squared is just 3n squared, and then minus 25, that's just 5 squared, right? If we see both of these as perfect squares, then we can say, oh, well, we're going to say 3n plus 5, 3n minus 5. That's just a faster way to get there. Either way works. So my answer here is G.